Okay.
Hey, baby.
Hey, babe. Hey, so I was thinking, honestly, I think today's the day, like, we need to get chickens.
Oh, really?
With how much, like, prices are going up with eggs and food and, like, possible World War III, I think it would be best. I think we should get some. What do you think?
We're getting chickens!
What are you doing? Rubbing. Nap time. That one.
This water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be good. Something a little different for the girls, yeah?
Sure. I don't know what chicks eat. It's different. But this is what chickens eat. Does it say, like, age-wise?
I don't know.
Yeah. Easy way to go about it.
Ready to go, bye-bye? So basically what I've done at this point is I've taken the pine sheddings and we're just laying a nice even layer down in the bottom of this tub. This is where we're going to keep the chickens, so we got it close to the water heater, a little further away though, and then we'll plug in a heat lamp, get them all set up, and this is where they're going to kind of hang out for a little bit in the garage right here to keep them nice and safe while they're growing up, getting ready to move out into the coop as we find that, get that set up. But let's go ahead and get the chickens out, start setting them in. We got chicks from two different spots because we hit Rural King was the first one we went to, and they only had pullets, and we really wanted some silkies too, which is what we mainly wanted, but we wanted to check out Rural King first to see what they had. So we went back over to Tractor Supply Company because we knew they had silkies and got some there too. So what we got from Rural King to start is we got a it's like a Welsh Summer and then an Easter Egger pullet, and then another one called a Golden something, I'm not quite sure, I'll have to find out the name for it. So this is either the Easter Egger or the Welsh Summer. They look very similar on pattern right now. One produces brown eggs, the other produces like green and blue eggs. So that's one of the, either the Welsh Summer or the, what was the other one? Welsh Summer and Easter Egger pullet. So this will be the other one of whatever it is between those two. And then we've got the Golden something pullet that I forget the name of right here. And so these will be good layers. The pullets are gonna lay around 300 eggs a year for us. And so with those three alone, that's about 900 eggs a year, which works out to well over a dozen eggs a week, I believe, for us as a family. And we eat very few eggs, so we didn't actually need a whole lot of eggs. That wasn't a huge consideration for us. That's why we were originally thinking the silkies, but since they had the pullets there, we figured we might as well grab them for extra. One of the big concerns that we've had with trying to get the chickens is that we do have an HOA that technically doesn't allow us to have chickens, and so we have to do this as kind of a guerrilla operation because all of our neighbors, I've already had sign off on this. The neighbors are completely cool with it. Every single neighbor that adjoins my property or is directly across from it have all been okay with chickens. They all want them too. They're all just waiting for like that someone to be the first person to get the chickens to say screw you to the HOA, and apparently that's gonna be me. So,
Rebel,
yeah, rebel. All right, so then we got these ones from Tractor Supply. This one right here is a Marin pullet that I just had to get. We weren't planning on getting another pullet. We were only gonna get 6 chickens and we were gonna get all silkies, but we decided to get these as well just because why not? And so these are the ones that we really wanted. Oh, you're pecking at my finger. I thought you guys were supposed to be more friendly. So these are the ones that we really wanted. We thought these would be really good for our situation because even though we do have an acre, we have an HOA, we are on a golf course in our community. And so that means we have to keep things looking and being much cleaner, much more resort style looking and things like that for the HOA just to keep everybody happy while the developers are building out this area. And so the silkies being a smaller bird with us not really eating a lot of eggs as a family, my wife and I are pretty much vegan and vegetarian at this point. We eat meat and meat products occasionally, but it's so rare at this point we're mostly vegan. And we just keep moving more and more that way. And so these guys we wanted more for the pest control, giving us that poop for the fertilizer to feed all the plants, and a little bit of eggs just in case we do need them because we're not full vegan. We do eat meat occasionally. And with everything going on in the world, obviously, you know, eggs is one of the big ones that they're talking about for inflation right now. And so this was one that we just had to get a jump on. So we got the 3 silkies and the 4 pullets. And that's what we're gonna start with right now. So we've got 7 chickens in total. My wife and I both have figured we don't want any more than 10 chickens really for our situation. And so we figure we'll start with 7. In a couple months, maybe a year, we'll expand out to finish off that 10, maybe 12 if we wanna push it. We'll see. We're just gonna kind of get a feel with these 7, see how they do, how it works out for us, and then we'll kind of go from there figuring out how much we want to expand. There are a couple chicken breeds and varieties that I specifically want. I'm not going to mention them now. We'll talk about those later. When it goes to filling out the rest of those 10, some of those breeds that I am very specifically looking for that are very rare in comparison are what we're going to be filling these out with. So definitely stay tuned. We'll go ahead and get these guys set up and do more of the video. But obviously, you know, hit that subscribe button and like because eventually we're going to add some more rare chickens to this stuff. And you guys want to see these grow up, don't you?
Okay, so we ended up moving the chickens in the house. We're living in Florida. It's just too hot in the garage, so we don't want them to get too hot. So we brought them in the house. So they're doing pretty good. Come up close. So John is like obsessed with the chickens, so I said he can name most of them. But the only thing I wanted to name was we got silkies. And I just feel like silkies are such like a bougie like chicken, like they're fluffy, like they almost, it's like a poodle chicken. I don't know, like they're just super cute. So I got it to name the silkies, and then John is gonna name the other ones. But let's see, so these are the silkies, right? The puffy ones?
Yeah, the puffy ones.
Yeah. Okay, so this one, we're gonna name you Bougie. My little Bougie. And then this one, we're gonna name Versace. And then this one, here. Or is that the same one?
It's hard to tell right
Oh
now.
my
We'll have to
God.
wait till they get older.
And then the other one we're gonna name, so we got Bougie, Versace, and then Chanel. So I don't know, I just picked kind of like,
We're doing Chanel or Coco?
oh yeah, not Chanel, yeah. Let's do Coco. I like Coco better.
Coco!
I just feel like the silky chickens, they have to have like a bougie name because they're just like a, you know, I don't know, they're cool.
Plus, you guys, you gotta understand, we are homesteading on like a golf course. We have an acre, but we're on a golf course. We're in like a kind of a richy area apparently for our county. We didn't even know this when we moved down here. So it's just funny because we're like the bougie homesteaders is how we keep describing it almost with where we live and what we're doing. So bougie names for bougie chickens for the bougie homesteaders. Now these ones, some of them I don't know the names of them for. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna grab is the Marin pullet. There's a couple later, but the Marin pullet, this one right here, I'm gonna go ahead and end up naming Medea. And then we got, I keep wanting to say Golden Corral, but it's a Golden Comet pullet, not Golden Corral, Golden Comet. So Golden Comet pullet, I'm gonna go ahead and name Etta James. And then we've got, come here, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. So I'm not sure which one's which because they look so similar as they're this little, but one's a Welsummer and the other is an Easter egger. And so one of them's gonna be Morgana and the other one's gonna be Mildred. not quite sure which one's which yet. We're just gonna kind of see. One's a little lighter and the other one's darker. So
Mildred
the darker
chicken.
one will do Morgana, and the lighter one will do Mildred for now. And we'll see how that holds. The pattern changes as they get older, so it'll be a little more clear to be able to distinguish which one's which as they age. So there you go. There's a name for the chickens, and it'll be cool to see especially the silkies, as they puff out and match with my silkies from my army days that I still wear, because yes. All right, so I almost forgot to tell you guys this. This was actually a really important part of why we're doing everything today, but of course I got distracted with the fact that we got chickens because I'm super excited. Because, yeah, they're chickens. They're really cool. I'm super stoked about them. But anyways, so one of the main reasons we got chickens, like we were talking about, is because with everything going on in the world, and this is part of what makes me super excited, is, a lot of why we're doing what we're doing now is because, 2 years ago, everything kicked off with COVID. We saw a lot of food shortages, and that was when Olivia, actually, we had just found out she was pregnant, was when all that kicked off. And so that kind of put us down this path to where we are today. And food security is a huge concern for us, and that's why we're doing a lot of what we're doing. There's a lot of stuff going on right now in the news and stuff about how inflation's kicking off, and eggs have been a hot topic out here in Florida, especially, is one of the biggest ones that are going up for inflation. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to get eggs, which brings us to the math behind the chickens that we got. So if you go in for the silkies, like I said, Olivia and I weren't expecting to eat a whole lot of eggs, but the silkies themselves each produce about 100 to 140 eggs a year. The pullets that we got, the other 4, all of them, produce over 300 eggs a year. So for us, that brings us to anywhere from around 1,500 to 1,600 eggs a year, which works out to about 3 dozen a week. Now, granted, that's gonna fluctuate much differently given the week. It's gonna change here and there. But Olivia and I, seriously, right now, if we're buying eggs, we buy about 1 dozen a month. So for us, 3 dozen a week is going to put us well into where our needs are for protein. It'll allow us to have extra to be able to supplement food for our dogs. Worst case scenario happens, we have food shortages for pets as well. And so, we've got an oversupply for myself, my wife, our kid, the animals, my parents who also moved out here and retired following us out here as well. And it also allows me to have some extra to give to the neighbors and keep them happy with everything I'm doing, and possibly even be able to sell some as well to the locals if they need to. Those eggs might be a shortage soon. But anyways, that's the math on how all of this works. We'll check you next time.
Food, and I'm like smelling it, and it like actually smells good. Like, smell it. Like, what does that smell like? It almost smells like a crouton or something. Or it almost smells like. It smells like ravioli. That's what it is. It smells like ravioli. Like, no joke. Smell it. Doesn't that smell like ravioli?
Yeah.
How weird is that? That's so funny.